What's up, Guardians, and welcome to my Q&A. Last week, to celebrate 30,000 subscribers, I asked you guys to feel free to ask me any questions you want to know, whether they be related to the game or not. And I got a ton of responses, like nearly 400 questions submitted. So I'm going to break this up into two parts, which is a totally original idea and not copying KJ Hovey at all. So in this first video, I'm going to cover some of the basic questions, the ones that are basically about me and about the channel. And then we'll hit some of the more detailed questions in the next episode. So this is part one. Hope you enjoy it. If you really don't care at all about me or anything about me or about the channel, you just want to watch gameplay, that's totally fine too. You can mute the video and just watch the gameplay. Got some clips at the beginning, and then the second half of the video is a full match on Drifter that we had that was a sort of impromptu sweaty, so hope you enjoy it. So first and foremost, I get a lot of basic who are you questions in terms of like age and all that kind of business. Basically, I'm a 27-year-old guy going on 28 here shortly. So I have a family. People want to know a little bit about my family, my wife, my kid. I have a son. He is nearing 2 years old, which is kind of terrifying. And I also have a black lab dog that I really love. I'm a dog guy, big dog person. I like big dogs. I have a wife. Her name is Stephanie. She does marketing work for a company here in Grand Rapids, which is where we live. We live here in Grand Rapids. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm a huge Colts fan. I love football. And I moved to Grand Rapids after I met my wife at college. We went to college at Indiana Wesleyan University in Indiana. And then moved here after we got married. We were married, lived in Indiana for like half a year, and then moved back up here to be near her family. My family is pretty spread out. Hers is really localized here in Grand Rapids. I've got family in different countries. My parents live out in New Jersey. My dad is executive vice president of a college out in Newark, New Jersey. So we're spread pretty far. But yeah, that's just kind of my basic family structure. People also want to know about sort of my career and my career history. Because this isn't, a lot of people don't know this, some of you guys do, but I don't do this full time. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, content creator, streamer, all that business. I have a career. This is just a hobby for me. I do on the side for kicks and giggles just because I really love gaming. But my career, I'm essentially, I work for a non-profit organization, and I do sort of teen counseling for teenagers and young adults in my area. And it's free counseling, so it really does help students who maybe can't afford professional counseling, that sort of thing. So anyways, that's what I do. People want to know a lot about, I get this question asked a lot in terms of my gamertag. Did you make this gamertag for Destiny? Where did your gamertag come from? And no, my gamertag came well before Destiny was even a thing. I had this gamertag. And basically this gamertag, I created it because the word Vanguard, if you're not familiar with it, is a reference to Viking warfare, the word that they use to describe the gentlemen on the front lines, the sort of guys up in the fray, up in the business. That they are the Vanguard, the first guys in. And so I made the gamertag because I thought that sort of was accurately described my play style. I don't hang back. I have a pretty aggressive play style. I like to be in the action. I like fast-paced gameplay, which is why I do a lot of close quarter sniping, that sort of thing. So the gamertag True Vanguard was more to describe my style of playing, and is not at all a reference to Destiny. Destiny didn't coin that word Vanguard. That's not a Destiny unique thing. So that's where the gamertag came from. People want to know about my gaming history. How did I get good, so to speak? I got good because I've been playing video games for a long time. I'm 27 years old, so when I was a kid, I was growing up on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Even an Atari. Had Atari. Played Joust. Played lots of Joust. You probably don't even know what that is. That's okay. My first gaming experiences that were super immersive, that I super loved, were pretty much like the Link to the Past Zelda game was the first game that I genuinely just fell in love with, that I played the absolute crap out of. and I loved that game. Still do love that game. I still play that game sometimes. You can get emulators, play them on PC, whatever. You can play them on your phone. Friggin' love that game. The game's awesome. So I played a lot of that. Played a lot of Super Mario Brothers and Mario Kart. Lots of Nintendo stuff initially, and then my first sort of FPS experience was GoldenEye. Back when James Bond GoldenEye came out for the 64, and that was such a huge deal at the time. And I played so much GoldenEye. I played a ton of that. That was my first real shooter experience. And then obviously when I moved into, when I was in 5th grade, 6th grade, I think is when Halo CE came out. And I didn't own an Xbox until I was in college, but I was competing in local tournaments in downtown Indianapolis, and even winning some earnings and rewards for winning some of those competitions with my team, which was excellent. So that's sort of my gaming history. Played lots of Halo 1. I didn't really play much Halo 2. I didn't really care for it, to be honest, which a lot of people will probably crucify me for, but I didn't really care for Halo 2 that much. Halo 3 was enormously entertaining to me, and that's when I really got back into competitive gaming, was in Halo 3, and I even enjoyed Halo Reach. Not so much Halo 4, but I did enjoy Halo Reach quite a bit. And since then, I'm just playing a ton of shooters. I played a lot of Battlefield 3 and 4. I loved Battlefield. Rocked like a 4.0 KD in Battlefield. But played a lot of Call of Duty. Played lots of Call of Duty. Also, I really like adventure-style games, open world, free roam style. A huge fan of Oblivion. I've got hundreds of hours dumped into Oblivion. Loved that game. I've got tons of hours dumped into Skyrim, Fallout, these style of games that I really love. And luckily, my wife really loves video games too, so we play a lot of stuff together. Like we play a lot of Borderlands together. That's what we do in our evening time together. We play lots of Borderlands together. So another question that I was asked was Screw, Marry, Kill, Tash, Hovey, Mana. And my answer to that is that I would kill all of them and take their subs. Another question, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's my favorite color of the alphabet? And my answer to that would definitely be Thai food. Absolutely, hands down, Thai food. I also had a ton of people ask the question, why did I start a YouTube? How long have I had my YouTube account, my channel here? And who are some of my favorite YouTubers? To kind of tackle that question a bit, first and foremost, why I made my YouTube channel. When Destiny first came out, I was loving it, but I really wanted a good source of information for PvP. Not just like basic information. And here's the problem. I went to YouTube to try and find good. I tried to find good reviews and information about weapons because I wanted to know whether or not they're worth my time to try and get my hands on, worth my time to buy. And my problem was that I went to YouTube and I saw lots and lots of videos where people were trying to offer solid opinions on weapons and gear, but in the video they didn't even have these weapons entirely leveled up. They didn't even have, in some cases, the exotic perks unlocked, and they're trying to offer their opinion on whether or not I should invest in these things, and that just didn't sit right to me. That just seemed wrong to me. Like, why would you assume that you have an accurate opinion on something if you've barely had it? What it communicated to me was that these people really just wanted to be the first ones with a video up about a certain item. Like, they got it, and then they used it for a couple of hours just to record some footage, and then post a review up on it on YouTube. And that just didn't seem right to me. How can you have an accurate opinion on anything after that short amount of time? Like, anything at all. And so, and I'm not trying to knock on anybody here, but even just borrowing someone's account for a couple of hours to get an accurate read on a weapon, I just don't think you can do that. I think that you need to spend time using it in every type of activity, be it PvE, PvP, Nightfalls, endgame PvP experiences like Trials or Iron Banner, or even 3v3s, and how does it play out in 6v6s. Like, I just think to get a full picture of a weapon or piece of armor, you got to use it in tons of different scenarios. That's just my opinion. So I decided I was going to try and fill that void. And I really wanted to be a guy that people could go to for reliable information, for an opinion that's well formulated, an opinion that is based on hours upon hours of gameplay with something. So that was sort of my goal. And I also wanted to help people understand how to approach PvP better. And that's always been a part of why I do what I do, trying to help people get better at PvP. Ultimately, the goal here is to make the Crucible as competitive an environment as possible. And part of that means helping other people understand how to be more competitive in the Crucible. So that's why I do what I do. That's the whole point of the channel. It's been, I want to say, a year and a month since I started the channel. And it was really slow initially. I just posted like, a vid every like 2 weeks or something. And then picked up from there. So that's sort of my roots with the YouTube thing. I don't know that I have any favorite YouTubers, because honestly I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I do now just because I'm trying to support some of my colleagues, but before that I didn't really watch a lot of YouTube. So that's how I would answer that question about the YouTube account. Another question I get asked is music. What are my music tastes? This may surprise you, but I don't really care for dubstep, that sort of techno-y style music that I use in my videos. I use it because of a couple of different reasons. I use that music because people seem to like it. I get a lot of compliments on it. It seems to fit the gameplay pretty well, and it's kind of the go-to style of music for gameplay. But that's not really my preference. I'm not really a dubstep kind of guy. A lot of people ask where I got this music from. A lot of people ask where they can find it. It's all copywritten music that you can't just find it on iTunes. These artists are artists that create cinematic style music that people making movies. This is where I get my music from. People who make movies, cinematic stuff, commercials, stuff like that. This is where they go to for their music, to get unique, never before heard music style things. So I actually buy this music. I buy a license to use it. And I've tried to start putting links to some of these artist profiles, but just know that if you want to purchase their music, you can't just buy a track for 99 cents. It's going to cost you like upwards of $20 to $30. So anyways, that's where the music comes from. In terms of my musical taste, I really do like a lot of sort of Louisiana style stomp clap. I like bluesy jazz style. I like this sort of modern interpretation of blues as well, and that Louisiana rock stomp clap music. I really like that. Artists like maybe ZZ Ward or Joe Bonamassa, artists like that. I like a lot of the heavy. I like a lot of Black Keys. So this is sort of my musical taste. That's who I listen to. And as we get close to wrapping up, just a couple other things here. Another question I get asked most frequently is, why do I not swear? People notice that in my videos I don't curse, I don't swear, and on live streaming I tend to keep everything pretty clean. And they want to know, why is that? Are you against swearing? And the short answer essentially is no, I'm not necessarily against swearing, but it's sort of just a personal standard I hold myself to, especially with the way that I present myself to people. It's really rooted in the fact that I've worked with so many young people who attribute those specific words with specific memories. Memories of parents with verbal abuse. A lot of them have been really impacted by the words that their parents use towards them. And, people say, oh, just toughen up. But that's really just ignoring the root of the problem. Is that, essentially when you work long enough with people who have been damaged by words like that, you tend to choose very carefully how you communicate with other people. And so that's just sort of why I avoid it. I choose to express myself with different words. I think that different words can more accurately express what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, better than just swearing. But like I said, I'm not against swearing. I don't look down on anyone who swears. It's just a personal standard that I hold myself to, and that's not to say that I never swear. I just mean that when I present myself to other people, I try to be really cautious about the words that I choose to use. And the last question I want to hit in this video is, people ask, how do I have time for all of this? For having a full-time job, for having a family, and for doing YouTube. And really, the way that it breaks down for me is you just have to prioritize things. First and foremost is family. So nothing will come before family. And then I prioritize after that my career. So first and foremost, I budget out time for my family. Second, I budget out time to pay enough attention to my career. give it the attention it deserves, especially with the type of work that I do. I think that if you cut corners, you're really hurting people. And lastly comes the gaming. So I tend to do my gaming either in the evenings or on my day off, but it doesn't come before family or career, and I think that should be the case for everybody. I think that, in my personal opinion, you got to make sure that the people you care about come first, and then obviously your career is important, and you should love what you do, and you should do it to the best of your ability, regardless of what it is. Even if you don't enjoy your job, you should do it to the best of your ability. Give it the attention it deserves. That's the only way that you're going to improve. And then gaming is peripheral. It should come after all those things. So that's just kind of my opinion on all of that. So there it is. That's part 1 of the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll hit some more less serious, more fun, crazy, weird, whatever, random questions in the next episode. I'll try and get that up as soon as possible. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for listening to me rant and rave for the past several minutes. And we'll catch you later.